Alright, so quick update on where I've been as of late. In short, I've been training to become a stone cold killer. And if you think I'm full of it, yeah, that's right. Fuck you, Phil. You can't hear anything coming from the west anymore, you sack of shit. But you know, all this shooting really got me thinking. Thinking about all the problems in the world today. All the violence, all the hate, all the sadness. I started to think, how can I make a difference? How can I make a change? Do I start with the man in the mirror? Nah, that's been done before, and well, look where it got dear old Michael. No, I needed to start somewhere fresh, somewhere new. I needed to start with a solution that was totally groundbreaking and revolutionary until finally it hit me. The solution to all mankind's problems and how to bring world peace to us all is to put that shit in space, baby! That's right, baby. I'ma be going through every single theatrical Star Wars release 1 week at a time until I got blue milk coming out my ass. I'ma go through the good. I'ma go through the bad. I'ma go through the holy shit. What were they smoking for this one to think that was a good idea? Also, spoilers, but at this point, I guess if you haven't seen Star Wars at least once in your life, I can't help you. So, as I will do with my future spawn when the time comes, let's start at the beginning. The real beginning. Bitch! Thank you. But yeah, in any case, Star Wars. Yeah, I'm technically starting with episode 4, but that's mainly because the prequels exist, and don't worry, I'll get to them eventually. But up until the early 2000s, these were the only 3 pieces of live-action Star Wars media that are remembered fondly. Which nowadays is kind of crazy considering how saturated the market has become. But you still gotta wonder, do 3 movies nearly 3 decades old still hold up compared to today's superior technology and filmmaking? Well, considering this is modern times and this was from 3 decades ago, you tell me which one has held up better over time. This space opera is the beautiful dream child which would eventually divulge into a horrible nightmare of the infamous George Lucas. Now, yes, Lucas is known for plenty of other stuff, and a lot of it is some very excellent work, but it's undeniable that Star Wars will always be what he's remembered for, whether it be good or bad. Even after he sold it down the river to the company, that only now, after the new trilogy is complete, did I realize how accurate this one episode of South Park was. Oh god, we really should have given it to the Chinese. Oh, fuck, I hate this bitch. But seriously, what more do I need to tell you on with this? It's Star Wars. There is a reason this movie spawned into the franchise empire that it is today. And that is because there is no film more iconic, more quotable, and more embedded in pop culture than the original Star Wars. I mean, you got lightsabers, you got Darth Vader with that beautifully deep James Earl Jones voice, you got the Death Star, you got Obi-Wan's crazy old ass, you got the Force, the Millennium Falcon, Leia's hair, the score, again, John Williams. This man owns the soundtrack that is your childhood. You got the droids, Luke Skywalker, the list goes on and on. Each and every one of these made some kind of connection with the audience it was presented to and continued to inspire them for decades worth of entertainment and ideas from the young minds that it was guiding. Even if sci-fi isn't really your forte, the original Star Wars is something that just can't be ignored. It's almost like a rite of passage at this point. Now, does this movie have its flaws? Oh yeah, like a lot when you really get down to the nitty-gritty of it all. But you kind of don't care when it comes to a movie like Star Wars. You're just so drawn in by the mythos, the corniness of it all, the popcorn munching action that's going on, that it all just kind of drops by the wayside. Now, can Luke be annoying at times and a little bit whiny? Yes, very much so. Does Leia's accent switch on between a British and an English one? Yeah, like a light switch. Does Han Solo complain too much? Painfully so, but you get the point. And yes, some of the dialogue does not really snap the way it once did in terms of snarky one-liners, but it's sci-fi. It all kind of comes with the territory. You don't really look at a movie like Narnia or Peter Pan and analyze the plot holes. You just go along for the ride. I mean, unless you seriously are alone in this world. But even as cliche as it can be at times, we all still find something that we can relate and connect to with these movies. Whether it be the characters or the stories or the ideas presented or whatever. They're all the reason why Star Wars has been and will continue to be such a staple in our lives and in our culture. It was just so groundbreaking at the time of its release and done on such a minimal budget that, thanks to a lot of time, energy, and pure devotion, we were given a gift that will just keep on connecting us as time goes on. So, as far as rating this one goes, it's an easy 8 out of 10 on the fire meter for me, folks. Like I said, with Jurassic Park, it has its flaws, but also it has a huge mark on history, and while incorporating my own personal enjoyment into the mix as well, I simply just can't put it any lower or any higher, to be fair. This movie is simply too entertaining, too iconic, and just too good overall for me to say any less about it. If you haven't already, do yourself a favor, go check it out, and see a movie from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And if you don't truly believe that Han shot first, you're wrong.